Women of the Channel Leadership Network. I'm Jackie Rives, your community leader, and welcome to another Woman of the Week. This week, I'm really excited to get to know Crystal Ferreira, Global and North America Channel Chief with Logitech. Hi, Crystal. Thank you for being here today.
Hi, Jackie. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I'm so excited to get to know you. So let's dive into those icebreaker questions. Where do you live and where did you grow up, if that's different?
Okay. Well, I live in a small suburban town in California, Danville. Danville is about 30 miles east of San Francisco, and it's known for two things. One, it's a beautiful mountain, Mount Diablo, which I am blessed to be able to look at every time I walk out my back door. And the other fun fact about Danville is the restaurant Bridges is known for that famous restaurant scene in Mrs. Doubtfire. Now, I did not grow up in Danville or in California. In fact, I grew up in central Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, my mom
Hmm.
said that I was not bound for Pennsylvania. As early as first grade, I said I was going to be moving to California. And sure enough, right after college, I moved to Southern California, spent a couple years there, and then hightailed it up to Northern California, and I've been here ever since.
I love that whole picture you painted about where you're living, where you came from. That's awesome. I'm also originally from Pennsylvania, so we'll have to catch up later on that one.
Definitely.
All right. Well, what is a little known fact about you that you're willing to share?
Oh gosh. Well, while I was in Pennsylvania, my great grandmother had 100 acres of farmland. And so I did not spend my weekends with playing soccer or hanging out with my friends. I spent my weekends on that farm. And the crazy thing about the farm is that it did not have any indoor plumbing or running water. So I had to learn how to cook on open fire, bring in the wood, and then to warm up my water for bath. So I feel like it was like, remember that show, The Little House on the Prairie? That's kind of what my
Yes.
childhood was like. But
That's what I'm envisioning, and I'm like, wow.
I will say that is where
Okay.
I got my grit for sure.
Yes, I would imagine so. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Well, let's dive a little bit into your professional career. So, share with us what is the most important risk you took and why?
The most important risk I took was mid career. I made a choice to leave my career in corporate world and go and be an entrepreneur with my fiance, who is an amazing businessman and self taught full stack developer. We decided we were going to get married and we wanted to spend as much time as possible together and give myself an opportunity to watch my kids grow up. And I took that leap of faith in him and our crazy ability to grow a business together and left thinking, oh gosh, I'm never going to make it back here. We had an amazing amount of fun building companies together. We built some social media, social networking companies, an online dating site, a debating site. And then we moved into B2B, and we still have that company today. So, although I left my great job at this medium sized company as a channel chief, I had an amazing opportunity to learn about mergers and acquisitions, to learn how to build your own company, to take risks on things I never would have taken risk. And I was blessed to be able to watch my kids grow up. And when my youngest went to kindergarten, I said, it's time for me to go back to that corporate world. And I was fortunate to have made some amazing relationships when I was in the corporate world. And I reached out to them and found an opportunity that I could launch back into it. And a couple years later, here I am.
Wow, that is an amazing experience, I'm sure. And probably much of what you learned, not probably, definitely much of what you learned in those experiences helps you succeed in your current role, I would imagine.
Oh, absolutely. I would not be able to do some of the things or take the risks that I would had I not taken that detour.
Yeah. So, with all of that experience in launching back into the corporate world, have you ever questioned your abilities or qualifications?
Yes, I think women often question their abilities, and I'm definitely one of them. Even the first time I launched into a technical sales job, said I have no knowledge of technology, nor how do I know how to sell. I'm not going to be able to do this, and so we doubt ourselves. Um, Even when I was recruited into Logitech, I questioned whether or not I would be able to do this. My experience was in small and medium sized businesses, hadn't worked for a multi billion dollar big brand before. But I was very interested in the problem that they were asking me to solve. And I loved the people that I met. And I tend to surround myself with people who believe in me more than I believe in myself, and they are very encouraging. I am solid in my faith, and I tend to take risks now because of that entrepreneurial detour. And I just say, you know what, I'm going to give it my all and I'm going to go for it, which is what I tell my kids, right? Just put forth the effort, have faith, and be kind to people, and you can do whatever you put your mind to.
I love that. I love that you also brought in like what you tell your kids. I find that sometimes even kind of telling myself the things I would tell my kids, I'm like, oh yeah, I have the answer. It's what I would tell them. You
Yeah,
just have to
exactly.
remind
Sometimes
ourselves
they tell me what
sometimes.
I tell them. They tell me what I tell them sometimes, which is good.
Yeah, I love that. All right. Well, let's pivot to what characteristics that you possess that make you an effective leader.
Well, I think that you're not a leader without your team. And
Hmm.
so I always try and really understand who is in my team, what drives them, what do they need to learn, what are their strengths, what are their passions, how I can bring individuals together to achieve a goal. But I always start with a guiding principle of what do I do? What do I need to do for the company? Then what do I need to do for my people? And then whatever happens is going to put you in a place to be successful. And to be able to be successful, you have to be adaptable, right? You really need to know that change is constant. You have to be flexible. And make sure that you just keep that guiding principle at the forefront, and just keep going with it. Keep learning, never stop learning, and always keep laughing.
I love that. I love everything you just said there. I imagine your team really adores looking up to you and being challenged by you and knowing that you're there to support them. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
I love my
All
team.
right, Crystal. We are just wrapping up at the end of this amazing interview, and I really want to learn even more about you. So, we're going to have to continue that conversation. But for now, I just want to thank you so much for spending a little time with me today and allowing our community to get to know you.
Thanks, Jackie. It was a pleasure.
Great. All right. Community, please give Crystal your high fives. Let's continue to celebrate her this week as our Woman of the Week and definitely share your insights, comment. This is how we continue to grow together by continuing that conversation in the community. So until next time, have an amazing week.